Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's the Kitty G, and I'm back again with another video. I know this is kind of late, and we're doing the NBA stuff today, but you guys, hopefully you guys still support the channel, and hopefully you guys are still watching this. Now, big up to the people who've tuned in. Today, what we're going to be talking about is the NBA. We're going to be talking about the playoffs. As you guys can see right here, it's covering BAS a little bit, but what we got right here is the NBA playoffs so far and how everything's looking. So, since we last spoke, the Nets beat the Celtics 4-1. The Heat got swept 4-0. The Nets got beat 4-1. The Sixers beat the Wizards 4-1. On the other side, the Jazz destroyed the Memphis Grizzlies 4-1. Right now, we're going to be talking about Game 7 that's going to be happening with Dallas and the Clippers. And Denver destroyed Portland 4-2. And Lakers lost to the Suns 4-2. Now let's get into it. What are you guys saying? How you guys doing, by the way?
Not too bad. Just finished watching the Nets obliterate the Bucks. But other than that, doing all right.
Baz?
Good, man. No, just chilling, watching. Was just watching the game as well. Wasn't too surprised, to be honest. Like whenever everybody's going over on one thing, I always think the other thing's gonna happen. So it's kind of interesting. But yeah, no, great game. And been watching that and some hockey, so it's been a good night.
Okay, so first topic we're gonna do. What we're gonna do is we're gonna break this up into topics. We're gonna first talk about the Nets Bucks series and today's game 1. So big up to everybody watching us on Twitter, joining us from Twitter, and big up everybody watching on YouTube. So first things first, guys. What did you guys think about that series when you first seen it? Bucks and Nets. What was your prediction for going into it? Because in my opinion, it was always going to be Bucks getting slaps, because I know these Bucks and they always end up losing. They are not that good. We know that they're a good team in the regular season, but come playoffs times, there's just something about them. They can't do it in the playoffs. They can't do it when the lights are bright. They can't do it when it comes down to it, and you need Giannis to fix up, and you need these guys to start scoring and getting assists. Today, Giannis was second highest assist getter on the team. Him and Thing were both on 4 assists, and the other guy was on 6. They don't distribute the ball quite well. They put their head down and just try to dribble through everybody, and it doesn't work in the NBA playoffs. I'm sorry, it does not work. These guys need to find something else to do. What do you guys think?
Yeah, well,
I'll start with Baz.
Okay, so yeah, man, like, interesting thing I saw before the game, just looking at odds for the game. When they're the underdogs, they win around 1% of the time, which is a telltale sign, because it's exactly what you're saying. The kind of mentality, they need to feel like they are on top to win. And what I saw was exactly what you're saying, is they're trying to win this by shooting threes, and you have to get into the paint. This team's got to get into the paint. The only person I saw getting into the paint today is Brook Lopez, and they need to get Giannis needs to get into the paint. They need to physically attack the team to win. And they're
Are you still there?
basically playing into their hands right now. That's basically what I saw today.
Okay, so what we're looking at right now, guys, is points in the paint was not the issue, in my opinion. They still got points in the paint. Just to let you know, their points in the paint was 72 to the Nets 48. They destroyed them in points in the paint. The issue they had is you can see, look at all the misses they had on the 3-point line. And to explain to you guys which team's which, let me give you a better example. Let me explain to you guys which team's which. The Brooklyn Nets, I'm pretty sure this is the Milwaukee Bucks, and these are the Brooklyn Nets. So you can see how many shots the Nets took in comparison to the Brooklyn Nets team and how many shots they took, right? They outshot them, right? And they scored more points inside the paint, but they took less shots outside the paint. Brooklyn took a plethora of shots, but surprisingly, when I looked at the stats, it ended up that Milwaukee took more shots, but Milwaukee's shots were harder shots. As you can see, majority of their shots are closer to the paint, more. Analytics would tell you that Milwaukee were not playing; they were playing against themselves. And if you look at the stats even show you that with how Milwaukee's players performed. They scored points, but the rest of the team was dead. And then you look at the Nets. They had performances across the board from majority of their players. You have Kevin Durant scoring 29 points. Thing scoring 18 points, 25 points from Thing. James Harden gets injured in the opening minutes, doesn't even contribute. Joe Harris steps up, and Mr. James steps up and does his thing, right? So it was just an absolute dominance performance. Of course, Kevin Durant led the way. Giannis led the way. Overall, I'm going to tell you guys, if today tells us anything, what it tells me is, I don't think the Bucks have a chance. It's going to end either 4 or 5 games. What are you guys saying?
I can't really disagree with you. To be honest, once I saw James Harden get hurt after 30 seconds, I thought the Bucks would have had a better chance. But the problem I think the Bucks face today is they had 5 days between series, right? And you're prepared for James Harden to be a primary ball handler. And I think James Harden going out weirdly in a way worked in favor of the Nets because you're forced for better ball movement and just you're forced to initiate offenses differently. And it looks like the Bucks had definitely prepared for a Harden-initiated offense, and the moment he limps off the court, you're kind of at a loss. Like, you're not prepared for it. Like, yes, I don't think the Bucks will be able to stop it, but the reason the Nets were getting such easy looks is because you're adjusting on the fly, and just the Nets did a better job than the Bucks did today.
Okay, am I mistaken to say that the strengths of the Bucks and the strengths of the Nets, they don't really coexist? Because the Bucks are a good team in the paint. The Nets are a good shooting team. No matter what you do, in order to beat a team that's good in the paint, you have to outshoot them and you have to outscore them from the outside and the perimeter. And if the Nets are going to continuously score at the rate that they're scoring at the perimeter, the Bucks are always going to be behind, even if they take more shots. Their shots are harder. Analytics tells you that the Bucks will always have a harder time getting up to the level of what the Nets are doing. Peter.
It's hard, right? Like, you're making the whole argument trading 2s for 3s, you're going to be at a bit of a deficit, which I agree with. The Bucks' problem isn't offensively. The problem is defensively. The Nets were getting some easy looks, and they were just on fire from 3. If the Nets shoot that well from 3 in the future and at like that high volume, then there's really nothing the Bucks will be able to do. They have to switch things up defensively. They got to run them off the line. You got to force KD and Kyrie into tough contested mid-ranges. The Bucks have to get back in transition. You can't be missing looks around the rim, and you can't be missing wide open threes if you're the Bucks, because they missed quite a few today.
Man said Arsenal in 4. Yo, Baz, just before we go, guys, predictions for this round for Nets and Bucks.
I would have said Nets in 6 before Harden went down. As soon as Harden went down, I thought the Bucks would win the series, but after watching today, I can't see it going any longer than 5 games for the Nets.
All right, what about you, Baz?
I think that's the easiest thing to think and logical thing to think, but I have to think that they're going to make some adjustments. This team's got too much talent, and like you said, Igal, they were very wasteful from the 3-point line today and around the arc. So I think they are going to take some games in this series, but I do think the Nets are going to edge them. So I would say 6 games, but I wouldn't be surprised if this kind of went to a 7.
All right, someone's saying Bucks in 7. You got some mad confidence. You got some mad confidence right there. But yo, guys, do me a favor, smash a like on the video. We're done with the Bucks Nets first game. We're gonna now jump into the next segment. The next segment's gonna be an interesting one because we're gonna be talking about your Suns, Peter. We're gonna be talking about the Suns, but from a Lakers perspective first, because we got to talk about the Lakers. Win, lose, or whatever happened. So first things first, everybody, smash that like button. Tell your friends to tell a friend to come join us for the rest of the video. Big up to everybody on Twitter. We're gonna end this. We're gonna end this part of the video, right now. LeBron James. What the hell is going on with LeBron James? He lost, and in a fashion in which that has people questioning if he will ever win again. Yeah, people are questioning if he will ever win a title, NBA title again. So the question I have to you guys is, do you guys think LeBron James will ever win another NBA title again, seeing how he was performing at the end of this game and how he was struggling. Now, the question is going over to you. Will LeBron James win another NBA championship in his career? Yes or no?
Short answer, no.
Why?
Because I don't think the Lakers have the assets short of trading AD to build a competitive roster with what's building around the rest of the league. Even if the Lakers would have gotten through my Suns and say they would have gotten to the finals, I don't think they have the guys on the perimeter to match the Nets from the outside and cover them. It's a bad matchup looking even beyond the Suns.
Interesting. And then Baz, yes or no?
They need to get some. He needs to get another star. If you were to get LeBron James with Damian Lillard, no. But just now we're talking something. But the problem is exactly what Peter said: is the supporting cast is not as good as it was last year. Exactly what we said in this first video, right? So, but if I was to say, am I going to say right away that no? No, I'm going to say he's going to win another one because look at this: LeBron James is going to have the longest rest of his career before a season, and that's something kind of scary because that guy spends every minute of every offseason on his body. So that's interesting, but of course it's a team game, so we have to see who's there next year.
He Bronny is just waiting for Bron is just waiting for Bronny to enter the league, then he can retire. And that NBA check continues to come in my opinion. But yo, just before we go, imagine Bradley Beal or Lillard or Cat on the Lakers. Yo, that would be mad.
That would change my answer, but I don't think those moves are going to be made, is why I'm saying definitive no.
All right, next question. Guys, do me a favor, smash that like button. Let's keep it going. I want to ask everybody in the chat, the Phoenix Suns versus the Lakers. Who did you think was going to win? Because I thought the Lakers were going to win. I'm not going to lie to you. Baz, did you think the Lakers were going to win?
Well, I said it on this first stream that the Suns were I thought the Suns were good value. So I'm not surprised. I said Chris Paul is on a mission, and Chris Paul controlled the tempo of that series when he was healthy. And that's what was the big difference.
All right. What about you, Peter? Being a Suns fan, did you think your team could do it?
Up until AD hurting himself, no. And let's be honest, that was kind of a big factor, I think. And I'm not making excuses for the Lakers. At the end of the day, I'm a Suns fan. I don't care about the Lakers. I would prefer them to lose, obviously. But as soon as AD got hurt and was hobbled, you saw the huge gap. The Suns are a talented team, right? We took our opportunity when it was presented to us, but the series definitely changed on that groin injury, I think.
So now let's just look at this. Let's just look at this aesthetically. You look at the two teams. You say to yourself, fully healthy. The only reason why LeBron and AD are going to win that is because it's LeBron and AD.
Of course, yeah.
Look at the actual squad. The Phoenix Suns have a much better squad. Cameron Payne probably starts for the Lakers.
Yeah.
Am I disagreeing?
Probably. Maybe.
I think it's debatable, but I wouldn't see why not.
Jay Crowder definitely starts for the Lakers.
That's fine.
Right? There's a lot of players in the Phoenix Suns depth chart that would start on the Lakers.
DeAndre Ayton starts for Lakers. No question.
DeAndre Ayton starts for majority of teams in the NBA. Let's be
exactly. 100%.
He was the number 1 overall pick. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, but you guys still should have picked Luka.
Yeah.
That's a different debate for a different day, but I see why they didn't.
Okay. You see why they didn't. Now, my question to everybody is, does this hurt LeBron's legacy more or benefit Chris Paul's legacy more?
The first one. But I don't think either of them happens too much, if that makes any sense. At the end of the day, if we don't get to the finals, no one's really going to care about Chris Paul's legacy and have it be elevated, because we've known Chris Paul can get to the second round and kind of overachieve relatively. The big work for Chris Paul is yet to be done. This isn't some sort of crowning achievement. He's done bigger than this.
Okay. Simple. Simple. Not even. We don't need to go too much further into that at that point. Baz, quick question:
Mhm.
how far do you think the Suns can go?
Well, I mean, I have to say this again. I thought they're one of the good value teams to make it to the finals. And now that they got to the Lakers, I think I have to stick with that because I think that I think Chris Paul is going to, if he makes this happen, he's going to be like a folk hero, right? It's like
Oh
like
yeah.
he's the type of guy that you want to see win. You know what I mean? And it'll be like the best story ever. And then in this NBA season, where there's more that the parity is, it's not like it was in other years where it's
Mhm.
obviously this team's going to win. This is the time when a team like this does something like that no one expects. So that's what I think. If Chris Paul get this done, if he keeps stay healthy, he has like 5 days of rest now for a shoulder. This team can make it to the finals.
Okay. Well, while we're talking about teams that are supposed to make it to the finals, there's a certain Kawhi Leonard who, after he won his championship with the Toronto Raptors, I think was it the Toronto Raptors? I think it was the Toronto Raptors, guys. Yeah. I don't think you know anything about winning the championship, my friend. So we're not talking about the Suns, but let's talk about the Toronto Raptors. Now, I had to do that. Dallas are facing the Clippers, and with the Kawhi Leonard show that we've seen in Game 6, and Luka just trying his best to carry the team, can we see the series going to the Clippers or the Mavericks? Because at this point, it's too close to call. Every single game has been a crazy game. Some of them have been close. Some of them have been just pulled away at the end of the game. In my opinion, I want to ask you guys, is it a Clippers show tomorrow or is it a Mavs show tomorrow? And are you guys worried for Kawhi Leonard and these Clippers? Because it seems like a couple years in, and I don't really see too much success.
I think the Clippers will win tomorrow, but if they do not, you got to push the nuclear button. Absolutely.
All right. I wish Slens was here right now. Slens, if you're watching, I want to know what you think about your Clippers, bro. Buzz.
All right, so here's the take. The away team has won every game in this series. So if you're going to follow that trend, the Mavs are going to win tomorrow. Now, other contrary to that, obviously the momentum is with the Clippers, but I think we're going to see Pandemic P, classic Pandemic P, at his best, doing nothing, and Luka Doncic is going to match Kawhi Leonard, and it's going to be up to the supporting cast to get them over the hump tomorrow. So
All I
Tim
gotta say
Hardaway
is,
Jr., all these guys got to show up.
all I gotta say is for these guys to still be having cornrows. Does Chris Paul? Did he cut his hair yet? I mean, Paul George. Did he cut his hair yet?
No, it's definitely the same cornrows.
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah. These guys. Too. This is just this bromance gone too far. Get rid of your hair, mate. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You're making a fool out of yourself. At this point, the Clippers. You guys are a joke of the NBA. You're a joke of an organization. You're absolute losers. I don't know why Kawhi Leonard joined your team when he was already in a championship situation. All
Money,
he
man.
wanted to do, he left the Raptors to become a loser, and he will continue to be a loser. And if the Dallas Mavericks beat him tomorrow, I'll be happy. But I personally think the Clippers are probably going to win, and I personally think the Clippers are going to probably go on to the next round and then lose because who they're going to face. We know who they're going to face. They're going to get smacked around by Utah.
Yeah,
Well,
we will see.
let me ask you this though: who does the NBA want to win this game? The
The
rising
Clippers.
star, the rising. I don't think so because the LA market is the Lakers, right? It's like saying the MLB wants the Mets to win. No, that's not true, right? So I mean, that's so. I think they want Luka Doncic, who is the rising star of this league, who is going to bring in more fans in Europe. I think they want that guy to win. So if they were going to be whistle happy tomorrow, I feel like it's going to be in the Mavs' favor. But we'll see.
I just stepped away for a second to get some pens and papers and to
Yeah.
see what your predictions are. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the show, a part of the show where we do our predictions, right? And I want straight answers, guys. No ducking, no diving, none of that. So first, we're gonna start from the beginning. Just 1 second. Let me just open a new link with this. So first things first, Utah versus either Clippers or the Dallas Mavericks. What are you guys going for?
Clippers.
Okay, let me just make 3 brackets. So we got Baz, we got Peter, and we got Igal. So you're going Peter. You're going Clippers.
Yes, they'll win this game 7 and knock out the Jazz.
Okay, so basically, if they lose to Dallas, you're losing 2 rounds.
That's fine.
Okay. Okay, so Clippers to be Western Conference finalists.
Yes.
Okay. Guys, who's gonna advance from Utah or Clippers or Dallas?
Utah is going to beat the Dallas Mavericks. They're going to beat
Utah's gonna beat the Dallas Mavericks.
Yes, they are, and they're going to go to the finals.
Let me just change the title to second round predictions. Second round predictions, and people in the chat play along with us. Okay, so my guy says Mavs are going to beat the Clippers. So you said Utah is going to beat who?
They'll beat the Dallas Mavericks, and then they'll play. I think they'll meet up with the Suns for a classic.
Mavs, and you're going Clippers. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm gonna play it safe. I don't trust either the Clippers or the thing. I'm going straight Utah Jazz. I'm going straight Utah Jazz in this situation. I feel like Utah Jazz is the safer pick, and it's not only because they're the safer pick that I'm going with them. I'm going with them because I think they're the better pick.
They're efficient offense. They get things done.
I don't know how you guys are not picking Utah.
Oh, I mean Utah. No, that's for me. Utah, 100% is gonna be in the conference finals.
Oh, so you're picking Utah also? I thought
I just said the Mavs. I said the Mavs will play them, but I think the Mavs won't get by Utah. I don't think so.
Okay,
Not in the 7-game series.
Yeah, I think the Clippers will play them.
Yeah.
Okay. So next, in how many games is your team gonna win? I think Utah's gonna win in 6. What are you saying?
Clippers over Utah in 6 in this hypothetical second round.
Okay, and Baz?
I'd say they'll win in 5. I think they're gonna wipe it. Yeah, they're the most. If they get into one of those streaks they got into the season, over. They're just too efficient.
Okay. Next, so going into the next round. 1 second. Going to the next game over on the other side of the conference semifinals, right? You got the Denver Nuggets versus the Phoenix Suns. I know if I ask you, you're just gonna be like, stop asking me silly questions. But I need to ask you, what are you saying?
I think the Suns will win, but Jokic is going to be a problem. Once Ayton is off the floor, Kaminsky's absolutely horrid on defense, and we've got no rim protection presence. So Jokic, I could see him giving us huge buckets and just initiating offense in the low post or high post. I think the Suns will do the series I'll say Suns in 7.
Suns in 7.
Yeah.
Suns in 7.
Yes, we don't guard bigs well, dude. It's not good.
Okay, as you guys can see, the Suns in 7 for Peter. Suns in 7 versus Denver. I'm sorry, I'm going Denver Nuggets. And we got Matthew here saying Denver Nuggets are going to beat the Suns. We got guys saying Michael Porter Jr. is on fire. I agree. I think Jokic is the best player in the series. And I feel like there's no answer for Jokic in this series. You have answers for the other situations. And unfortunately, Jamal Murray is still not fit. Right? So
won't be for next year.
Yeah, so if Jamal Murray was in this game, it would be a completely different story. But the fact that he's not there, it makes it a lot tighter. I'm going Denver, and I'm going Denver in 6. Denver in 6. All right, what are you saying, Baz?
I mean, look at the. Like, I'm sorry, but you're not going to get far into the NBA playoffs with Facundo Campazzo as your point and Rivers as your point. That's not happening, guys. If they get Will Barton back, that might change things a bit, but we'll see. He should. He was. I mean, it was rumored that he was going to be coming back a few times. Towards the last games of the last series, but they need him back because I'm sorry. Like I love stories like Facundo Campazzo, but he's 5'7", and I mean he's a situational player. You
What do you
can't
got
play
against
him.
short guys, man? Not
I
saying
know
I'm
I'm short too, man. I don't have any, but I think when you play basketball, like it's a different story.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just think I love Denver, and I love watching them play. But I think the Suns are gonna take them in 6. I really do.
Conference semifinals. Second, so the conference semis, we got the playoffs conference semis. On the West Coast, you got the Suns, right?
Yeah, I do. Yes, in 7 games.
And Baz?
6. Suns in 6.
Okay, so I'm the only one going with Denver. What are you guys going with in the comment section? We got one Denver here. We're getting Campazzo's decent. We're saying big up the panel. Utah Jazz Nets final. Woo! They need to play the boy Bobo over Jermichael Green. You know what? I don't think Bobo is good enough yet. He's very skinny and he gets bodied too easily. Even though he's a tall guy, he can get blocks. But Jermichael Green is still a better player. I'm sorry. Mavs Bucks final. What are you on, Matt?
That's crazy.
What are you on
the
about?
Mavs will be out tomorrow, and the Bucks will be out by next Sunday. So fair enough.
All right, so let's go to the East Coast. Let's go to the East Coast.
Sure.
We're going over to the East Coast. We're gonna check this out. East Coast, Philly versus ATL. What we saying?
Ooh, this is gonna
Is
be
Embiid playing for this?
Embiid missed the last game, but I think it was precautionary. I'm not sure if he's out for long.
Or it's like a meniscus issue.
Yeah, but he can get shots like
Joel Embiid is uncertain for game 1 versus Atlanta, but I think he should be fine for this series at some point.
Mm-hmm. He will.
What are we saying?
Philly in 6.
Philly in 6. All right. What about you, Baz?
I think Embiid's might miss game 1, so I think Atlanta's gonna maybe take that first one, but then they're gonna win every game after that. So Philly in 5, because I think, although I respect what Trae Young has done so far and how he's changed his game, I've always been saying this about this team. This team has been very weak-minded during the season at certain times, and they beat the New York Knicks, which is nothing you should be bragging about. So until they get the job done, I'm not going to say they're going to do it. I'll gladly admit that I was wrong if they prove me wrong, but I don't think this team has it in them to win a series like this. So Philly in 5.
Okay. So we got Philly in 5. I'm going to go 76ers. And I'm going to go 76ers in 7. Okay. I'm not going to lie to you. I think it's going to be a long, dragged out series, especially with Joel Embiid out. And I don't think the Atlanta Hawks have the chance to win. But you know what? We gave them, at least we gave them a chance. So now we have the 70. So now we have finalists. We have Utah, Phoenix, Sixers, Clippers, Phoenix, Sixers, Utah, Denver, Sixers. Those are our 3 finalists so far. Now we're going to go down over here to the last guys. We already spoke about this. I had the Nets. You had the Nets. Everybody had the Nets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I had the Nets. I had the Nets in 4. You had the Nets in 5, Peter.
Yeah.
And Baz?
I think something's gonna be different. The next couple games are gonna drag it out. It's gonna go to 7.
Okay, it's gonna go to 7. So now, Nets versus Sixers. Who do you have? Baz.
Ooh, this is interesting because this is like two different types of philosophies going against each other. And I actually think that the Sixers match up amazingly well versus the Nets if they're fully healthy. So if they have a fully healthy team, and they didn't have to go through a long series against Atlanta to give Embiid some more time to rest that knee, I'm going to say they get the job done against the Nets.
All right, so 76ers in what?
I'm going to give the Nets some respect and say 6.
All right, you're saying 6. All right, I'm going Nets. And I'm going Nets. I don't really care what anybody says. Nets are winning this. Sixers are going to get 2 games. It's going to go down to 6 games, and it's going to be 4-2, and it's going to be in the most embarrassing fashion ever. You're going to see 2 blowouts, 2 close games go each way to Sixers, and then the rest of the time it's just going to be absolute shit show. But in my opinion, it's going to be Sixers. For you said Sixers in 6. I say Nets in 6. Peter, do you have anything different?
Nets in 5.
You're going even more disrespectful to the Sixers.
Yeah, I don't see how anyone stops this Nets offense. I understand the Sixers have the personnel to match up, but I just feel like they'll get buzzsawed, and I'm not assuming Embiid's going to be fully healthy for forever either. I think this issue is going to be a lingering thing.
Gio says, big up the Eagle. I will only watch the finals since my Lakers are out. Keep up your grind, and many blessings to you. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. We're no longer talking about the conference semifinals, so I'm just going to delete that. I'm going to delete that, and delete all my Bindia stuff also if you guys don't know about football.
Ben Simmons won't show up. Ben Simmons has some of the best numbers in NBA history in terms of points, rebounds, and assists in the playoffs. Just look it up.
It won't matter if he shows up or not.
Yeah, this is interesting now. You have the Utah Jazz and the Suns, Baz. Who are you taking to the finals?
Suns.
And by the way, what did Utah win by in their round?
4-1? Oh, which round?
Baz.
I said 4-1 as well, didn't I? 5, yeah.
5. All right. So that's what you're going for. All right. So Baz, who are you going for from Utah and Suns in the
Suns in 7.
Why do you rate the Suns so highly? You're just doing this.
I respect it.
No, I'm telling you, it's all about Chris Paul and what he does for this team and how talented the team is too. They are talented. Devin Booker too. No one talks about Devin Booker. He is the next generation of superstars in this league. And this is one of those seasons where you're seeing the next guys come up. So yeah, this is one of the other big reasons. But Chris Paul is the main reason, but Devin Booker, another one.
All right, Peter, what are you saying?
Well, I picked the Clippers to knock out the Jazz. So in my hypothetical, the Jazz don't exist anymore. I think the Clippers will lose to the Suns. And I'm on the gas. Call it homerism all you want. I don't care. Comment section, you disagree. That's fair enough. We're all allowed to have our opinions. Suns will beat the Clippers in 6 games and go to the NBA Finals. And if we want to talk about that, we can. But we'd get sacrificed. It's all good, though.
Just like that, eh?
Hey, we beat the Lakers. I said if we beat the Lakers, I'm going all in. I did say that.
Suns? What's it going to be?
6 over the Clippers in the conference finals.
All right. So just to let everybody know, I currently have man said the Vegeta hairline. Bro, my hairline's not that bad. You guys are just hating. You guys are just hating. Yeah, I've looked at I've crunched the numbers. I've looked at the Denver, Utah, and I've said to myself, no Jamal Murray. There's no problem for Utah. Utah's going to beat Denver. And it's going to be Utah It's going to be a Utah Nets final, and the Utah Denver series is going to go to a mad 6-game series that's just going to be stretched out all the way, right? So now I have Nets Utah final. You have Baz. You have Sixers Suns, and Peter, you've gone for Suns Nets. So
Yeah.
I'm going to start. I'm going to say Nets win in 5. Nets win the NBA championship in 5. What about you, Peter?
Nets win in 6.
Nets win in 6. All right. What about you, Baz?
What am I talking about? Like the one
Suns
within that?
6.
Sun Sixers. Okay, yeah, Sun Sixers. Ooh. I think that's a very difficult one to look at, but I'd say Suns would win in 7. That would be really, really back and forth. Two things we've never seen before. Like those two teams, like that's weird. But if that happens, I think it would be a great show, and I think the Suns get it done. I really do. I know
So
it's
you're
crazy, but you got to be contrarian sometimes. Everyone thinks, oh, this is what's going to happen. The favorite's always going to win, but that's never how it works.
So you're saying the team that's gonna win the 2021 NBA championship is going to be who? Can you repeat that again for everyone who didn't hear you?
Phoenix Suns. And when that happens, I'm going to go visit Peter and we're going to celebrate. It's going to be
Hey,
amazing.
if the Suns win the championship, I'm going to be drunk forever.
Yeah.
I'm going to drink myself into
You
oblivion.
guys remember Charles Barkley saying the Phoenix Suns are the worst team in the NBA. They don't even have the right nachos. I was like, yo, this team is dead. This team is dead. They're not getting shit. But you know what? If they pull it off, I would be surprised.
I would be shocked beyond belief. I'm irrationally confident, and I still don't think we're winning the chip. But I'll take it. Now's the time. Now or never.
Definitely.
I'm just, hey man, like we got to see what's going on with Harden too, man. Like that's hamstrings. You know how bad those are, right?
Mhm.
Like hamstring, you just can't go back and play right away. It takes some time. You have to let it heal completely. So it's tough. And
So
what is he
so
doing
people-
when he's sitting around? Strip clubs and all these things. I'm sorry, Miguel, but you know if James Harden is. So that's all I'm saying.
yeah, I don't think James Harden's gonna mess around when he's got.
I hope not.
When he's got this kind of situation right now.
Yeah.
He's an idiot if he messes around in this kind of situation.
This guy was in the strip clubs hours after getting eliminated though. Like,
Oh, of course he was.
surprised.
There's one across from Brooklyn, the stadium, isn't there?
Is he not? Was he not dating a stripper at one point?
Oh, no doubt.
Probably. And those of you in the comments, we have nothing against dating strippers. Do what you want.
No, do whatever
We
you want. Yeah.
support sex work and all that.
Nah. I'm sorry. I ain't
Gal
dating
is no Gal is
Eagle
never
is
gonna do
receiving
that.
my statement. Fair
Yeah.
enough. This channel, he can do what he wants.
I do what I want. I say what I want. Now I do what I want, like Westbrook. Now I do what I want. Hey. All right. So you went with the Sixers
The Sixers?
to lose to the Suns in the finals.
Yes.
What's the score? What's the numbers?
Sweep.
I'd say
6?
I'd say you went with 6? I went with 7. I think this would be a
Yeah, he
tough
said 7
series.
games.
I think it'd be a very tough series.
If we win a winner-take-all game to win the ring, Eagle, you're going to have to block me and all my burners that I make to harass you.
All right. So, just so you guys know, quick recap. We went with the Nets, Baz went with the Suns, and Peter went with the Nets. As you guys know, Peter is a Suns fan, and he still went with the Suns to go to the finals, only to lose to the Brooklyn Nets. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's it for today. I want to ask you guys in the comment section, who's going to win the NBA title? Let me know. We got some people saying Mavs and Suns ? In that case, Suns would win.
This guy,
Against-
Matthew, you love the Mavs. Why?
Yeah, he loves the Mavs. Harden thinks he's a rapper. No, that's Damian Lillard.
To be fair, most NBA players hang out with rappers, and most rappers hang out with NBA players. Similar lifestyle.
That's true.
Yeah, true. But yo, people, we're out of here. I'll be back tomorrow with more content, Arsenal content, of course. But yeah, quick NBA video. Just needed to get this out there because we haven't done any NBA content in a while. And appreciate everybody watching. Have yourselves a wonderful day. And you know what? No Arsenal slander on these shows, please. What's going on, everybody? I need you guys to go check out my channel and subscribe if you're new. And don't forget to subscribe, hit that button, and hit that notification bell while you're at it, ladies and gentlemen. EGTV, you already know. And if you're on your phone, it's even easier. Press that like button for me.